Hi, I'm going to show you how to contribute to the UPPMAX documentation. In this presentation you can find it here. This is the license. It's my name, Richel, rhymes on seashell. But before I do so, I'm going to go through three things. So first I'm going to tell you what the UPPMAX documentation is, what I mean with UPPMAX docs. Then why would you care? And lastly, how to contribute. And this talk is mostly aimed at UPPMAX employees or the nice employees, not a regular user. On the other hand, there is a lot of overlap. I'm going to show you definitely why UPPMAX is awesome, why our UPPMAX docs are the best in Sweden, I think. Please feel free to disagree with me. But first, before I talk about the UPPMAX docs, I'll show you some pictures of how it looks like. So if I go to the main page at docs.uppmax.uu.se, you'll find this picture. And maybe this is too small to read for you on the big screen. So all the next pictures, I've compressed them a bit. I made things closer to each other and I've modified a bit so it's clearer to make my point. That doesn't mean it's always at exactly the right distances and so on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight things that I'll be mentioning in my talk later on too. So when you zoom in on this same page, you see here a bit how I modify stuff. We have a button to give anonymous feedback and we have an AI agent. Other things is when you modify a page, when you're on a regular page, at the top right there's if you click there you go to the regular GitHub repository behind our website so you can interact with us. Also, each button at the top right has an edit symbol, so this means it's easy to edit stuff. Also in our documentation there are a lot of these drop down boxes, and if you click on the question mark this thing will pop out, and here we have a link to a YouTube video. We have those. Also in the UPPMAX documentation there are these graphs. These are mermaid graphs. You see, for me it's a bit I call it misaligned. That's because Mermaid is working on fixing this. But this is how it looks like now if you use Chrome or if you use Linux. But these are Mermaid graphs. We have them. They're supported. It's just a text language that renders like a graph. We have an overview of all our courses and we have a schedule when our courses run in our UPPMAX documentation. Because the UPPMAX documentation is on GitHub, we can see a list of contributors, people that were impactful on the change, on the content of the page. And here we see the top 6. There are many more, but this is just the top 6. I have an idea who is involved in this most of the time. Fun fact, it's Matthias Piqueras who started it, and that's why he only is there at the start. And some people, like these two, they came in later. Some parameters, so it has 43,000 lines of code. We have around 400 pages. Pages that are optimized for searching, nearly 200, so nearly 1 in 2. The pages are quite heavy on those drop down boxes I've showed you before. We have on average 1 image per page. We have quite some internal linking, so if you want to get more details you can easily get there. We have quite some mermaid graphs, these flowcharts, and more types of graphs are also possible. We have quite some links to YouTube videos. This can be duplicate links, as mean there can be more links to the same video, but we have 110 links to YouTube videos. We have more than 3,000 commits spread over 9 different versions. So this should round up the question, what are the UPPMAX docs? Now you have an idea how it looks like and some characteristics of it. And this page is about contributing to the UPPMAX documentation. Why would you care? Now we know what it is, but why would you care? Why would you, an UPPMAX staff member like me, why would you care about this? Some reasons. So I feel these are the 3 most important reasons. To help show that we care about our users, to help show that we at UPPMAX care about quality, and to help show that you are a good team player. And I'll go a bit more deeper in these 2. So why would we care about our users? Well, there are more reasons why this, But among others, we are the only HPC center in Sweden, so that's NICE wide. So NICE is the international infrastructure for HPC. We have no broken links. Of course, sometimes there's a salt icon, which means sure. Sometimes our links break, our links to other websites break, but we find out and we can fix them. We have no spelling errors because we have a piece of software that checks for spelling. Of course, also with a grain of salt, because not all spelling errors are detected by our tools. But at least we check for spelling errors and we check for broken links. So that's why there's a grain of salt here, because we are the only one that, well, we are the only one that check this and that are informed about this. We know when links are broken, we get an email by this. We know when there's a spelling error, we get an email by this. Are all spelling errors detected? No, not by the tool. Not all tools can detect all spelling errors. But when a link breaks, we get an email. This happens all the time and then we fix it. But also we are the only HPC center in Sweden where users can create issues for us or edit pages. So at the top right of each page there's this edit button, and users can easily go to the GitHub repository in the back and create an issue for us. We care about our users. Also, we care about our users by providing an AI agent that has multiple reasons why this is useful. One is that the user can talk to an AI agent instead if he or she feels better with this. I use it mostly to check if my pages are well written enough, if the content on this website is well written enough, because if an AI agent understands it, I feel this proves it's quite well written. Also, we are the only HPC center that has a button to give anonymous feedback to us every moment of the day. It is completely anonymous and we publish all the feedback we get as is. So why would we care about the UPPMAX user documentation? Well, to show we care about our users, and our documentation shows us here some reasons how we do that. But also we should care about our documentation because we care about quality. One thing is we do dog fooding. So dog fooding means that you use your own work. Our documentation is used as teaching materials. So that means when we teach courses, we refer to our UPPMAX documentation and we say, hey, follow that procedure. In this way, our documentation material is actively used and needs to be updated and needs to be checked. So that is how we show about quality. It must be good, else in teaching it will fail. Also to solve tickets. So we at UPPMAX, we get support tickets from our users. And instead of writing down a text with the whole procedure every time, we just refer to a link on the documentation where there's a video and a procedure. And then sometimes there's a reply if he or she if the user misunderstood something. I've never seen this happen yet. But also the quality of our documentation, we care about this, and because what we do is every commit is checked. So every time we make a new version, when we push a new version to GitHub, when we make a commit that we upload, when we make a change that we upload, then there's a thing called a continuous integration service that allows us to ensure quality. And a continuous integration service is something that starts running when there is a new commit. For example, when I add content, it will check if all the links still work, if I've made a spelling mistake, even if I made a script, if my script follows the recommended guide of Bash, the scripting language. Also, the content is written in Markdown. We also get a complaint if we don't follow the recommended standards in Markdown. This gives us a minimal level of quality. We know that our links usually work. We know that our words are that our spelling is checked, it's not perfect again, and we know that we follow some standards in Bash and Markdown how we write this down. So this ensures a level of quality here. Also, because our pages are all all in plain text and we can download all of them at the same time, then suddenly we can use all the power tools. So we can use grep and set and awk. For example, there's a script in our repository that just does this: count the number of drop-down boxes and count the number of images. I ran these scripts to get these values at an earlier slide. And I can run those scripts because I have access to all the pages, and all these pages are plain text. So I can just grep through it. So this means that we can never say, oh, this is too hard for us to do. We can do it because it's just plain text and we use our power tools. There's nothing that can stop us. So I've shown you why you should care. You should care because we care about our users and their quality, and it helps show you that you're a good team player. And this is someone that contributes to it. I'm not going to zoom in on this part. So I hope you now see how the UPPMAX doc, why you should care about this. Because you care about users and you care about quality. But now how to actually contribute to this. Well, there are 4 ways at least I could easily show in a slide. And the first way is to just share your wisdom. So here we have a page and someone added new text about something that was not on it yet, and now suddenly we know we can find it. If somebody now searches for dev SHM, whatever that is, he or she will find what it's about. Also, sometimes there are mistakes, or sometimes it's an outdated thing. You can report this as an issue. So an issue is basically a ticket, it's a bug report, it's a place where you can make suggestions. And here we have somebody making a suggestion how to improve. Something is missing in some Bianca pages, and this team member contributed by reporting this mistake. Also, things change over time. Here we have a team member that fixed something that was wrong. And also, we can create issues on behalf of users. So here we have a team member that suggests, hey, this file should be improved for our users. With that, let's go through the technology stack. So we use Git for version control, GitHub for code hosting, GitHub Actions for the continuous integration service. We use Markdown as a markup language, and we use mkdocs as a static site generator. These are quite standard things we are using here. With this, the question is, do we do a good job? Does the UPPMAX documentation do a good job? How do we know? Well, the answer is we don't know. We only think we do a good job because we ask in person. We hear this in our courses. People say, oh, you're from the UPPMAX documentation. Oh, it's always so good. And also, we read it in the anonymous feedback, such as our public course evaluations. So you can read there how well the materials are structured and so on. We still may miss the people that are very critical, but this is the best we can do in thinking we do a good job. With that, I conclude that UPPMAX, we are the Swedish HPC center that seems to care most about its user, with the highest quality standards, with the best team players that do a good job with the documentation. With this, I end my conclusion. My talk about the UPPMAX documentation and how to contribute and why you should do it. With that, I end this presentation and I wish you a very good day. Bye!